Happy Halloween, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. My costume today is a 54-year-old woman who's really frustrated with hormonal weight gain. Actually, that's not my costume, that is my reality. But that's neither here nor there. There's only so much I can do about that. So we are out at the farm today, and it's a beautiful, beautiful morning. Some of the reason for that is that, number one, it's sunny and pretty, but we got our first rain last night of the season. And even though we only got 1/10 of an inch, it was enough to do a light soaking of all the dry soil. And so everywhere smells amazing. It smells amazing. I think it's what people call petrichor. There's this like earthy, sweet, cedary oil smell everywhere. It's magical. When Aiden and I came out this morning to go to school, we walked out to get to the car. We were both like, what is that smell? It's amazing. You know, it's funny, every year when we come out of the dry season, I'm sure this happens, but I've never noticed it before. So this feels like a real blessing. It's, like I said, magical, and how appropriate for Halloween. So today we are going to start working on the dahlia bed that got destroyed by rodents. I need to pull all the soil out. First pull all the tubers out, see which ones are not damaged, because they probably ate a lot of the tubers, which means I'll just have to buy new ones next year. So we'll see the damage and save the ones that are not damaged. Those will go back in the ground. But in the interim, they'll go into trays, labeled with a stake so we know what they are. Anyway, we'll see which ones we can save. We'll empty out the soil, pull up the old chicken wire that was in there, put down new hardware cloth that we have, and then refill that bed, plus add more soil that we have here. And we will replant now those tubers that look like they will still be viable because they haven't been munched on. And the reason for that is I'm in zone 9B, and we can overwinter our dahlias here with no problem. Their main issue is rot from too much water. So I will be covering that bed, not just yet, but very soon, with a tarp, so that it will get a little bit of water from the side, but it's not going to get torrential rains all year. I mean, I hope we get them all season, because we really need it. But that way, I'm hoping to prevent rot, because that's really the main issue. They can handle, our ground does not freeze. We might go down here at the farm into the low 30s, just below freezing, but that only stays at that temperature for a couple of hours. And then it comes right back up and we'll get warm during the day. So I'm not worried about the tubers freezing. I just don't want them to rot. So let's head over to that dahlia bed. I really would like to get this project completed today, but I don't know if I'll have the time. But we'll at least get started. We're supposed to get more rain tomorrow night, Friday night, and on most of the day on Saturday. So I'm super excited. I don't know how much rain it'll be, but just to have that kind of weather, that fall, cloudy, foggy, cold, drizzly weather, I'm really looking forward to. All right, let's go see where we stand with our dahlia tubers. Okay, as you can see, we still have a couple dahlias that are producing, but that's fine. They're ready to come down. So before I do any of that, I need to take down the fencing and the T-posts, and then we will start pulling up these dahlia tubers. Now, it is muddy, so it's not ideal, but with more rain coming, I'd like to get this done sooner rather than later. So it might make this harder to dig, but it is what it is. All right, let's pull this fencing off, and then we'll see where the dahlias stand. Okay, that was actually, it was okay, but it was hard. I'm super sweaty. I'm like dripping in sweat. All right, and it's nice and cold out here. It's like 58 degrees Fahrenheit. There are no dahlias to save. So I'm actually shocked that this plant was still upright and blooming. You can see here is one of the tubers, and it's been munched. So these are very healthy. They're actually edible even for people, not that they would taste very good. Here's another one. So, you know, it's a good source of nutrients for the rodents, so it makes perfect sense why they would eat it. And when I pulled up, so basically there were hardly any tubers at all, and the few that are here have been chomped through, so I'm not even going to bother trying to save them. It's totally fine. I'm just going to buy new ones, and that's always fun. The other thing too is that since I'm not buying any lilies this year, I can have a little bit more fun with the dahlias in exchange for the lily budget, so that'll be fun. Anyway, I did see, and also I've trampled them at this point, but lots of deep tunnels underneath here where obviously rodents have been running around. And I mean, if you just look here, that's one of the many, many holes. Here's another one here. This is just their home at this point. So not a problem. I've got this 1/4-inch hardware cloth, which is impenetrable. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking putting down chicken wire, because they just can run right through that. It's not a barrier at all. And I'll lay out the, you know, I'll make the cage and maybe put some of this soil back in, but I'm not in a rush because there's nothing to plant in here right now. And probably what I'll wait for is for Mike and Aiden to come out and help me, because I'm going to need to move soil down to the tulip bed. That's going to need multiple wheelbarrows. And then we have to fill that 8x4 as well. And this. So a lot of things to fill with the wheelbarrow, and that's way more than I can do myself. Mike and Aiden are stronger than me. They have more stamina. So I think we're gonna leave it at that. But I think I will go ahead after I take a quick break and get a snack and roll out this hardware cloth cage, get it set up, just so it's in place and ready for us for when we start filling. And I was hoping that would be this weekend, but it's going to be raining and Mike is going to be away. So when I come out on Sunday, it won't be raining that day, I don't think. I can start moving some soil, but I'm not going to have a whole lot of progress, but that's okay. The other thing that I realized, I guess last night, is that I can use, it's hard to tell that there's beds here, but believe me, there's a bed there and a bed there. These are not lined beds, and I tried direct sow as well as dahlias in here, and of course everything got destroyed early in the season. And that's okay. Again, it's been a learning process, but there's great soil underneath these weeds in these two places. So they're going to be daffodil beds because, again, nothing will eat them. And once I clear off the weeds, I can, you know, try to keep them more weed free as possible. So I'll put dahlias there. I'm sorry, not dahlias, daffodils here and here. Just like the big daffodil bed we did, I don't know, last week or whatever. I'm also going to put a bunch of wildflower seeds on top. So what'll happen then is that the daffodils, you know, will come up in the spring, and then the wildflowers will follow them as the daffodils are fading. And the wildflowers will also create a big mat on the surface where weeds can't get through. So it'll still look crazy, but it won't matter because it's going to be a bed for daffodils and wildflowers, and there won't really be any weeds in there. I mean, there'll be some, but not that I need to worry about. All right, I'm gonna go take a snack break, and then I might come back and start clearing these beds, the tops at least, getting the weeds out so I can get an idea of what I'm looking at. I don't even think I'm gonna add soil. I think I'm just gonna dig down and pop in a whole bunch of daffodils. Okay, well, that's about all I can handle today. My back is killing me and it's time to go pick up Aiden anyway. But, so we've got the gopher cage in, and you can see I gave it pretty high side, so it's not as wide as the previous bed, but that's totally fine. And just started backfilling. This is not urgent. Again, we're not gonna be planting dahlias until the spring. I'll be ordering them, and then I'll do the usual pre-sprouting before we plant. So, you know, no rush on getting this done. Same thing with this bed. Not a big rush. However, I'm still deciding. I might put the tulips in there. I don't know, we'll see. But I already have room for ranunculus and tulips, no matter where I put them. One more update. So you can probably see that the grass is already starting to come in fast and furious. I did run the hoe through here just a couple days ago. So I was gonna do some more hoeing today, but when the soil is super wet like this, it's not a good idea. You'll just damage the soil structure and it's harder to actually get the weeding out. So I'm gonna come out here probably tomorrow. It should be more dried out by then, and I can do another round of hoeing, but it's the grass that I really want to attack, because this stuff is just insidious. It's like everywhere. And I'm hoping that when it's this small, I'll be able to pull it up with the hoe. But, you know, otherwise I'm gonna have to be in here hand weeding, and I don't wanna have to do that again, because that takes forever. And until these seedlings get to a good size, this is gonna be the primary job, because the weeds are competing with the seedlings. So I definitely want to remove them. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for me today. Farm work on Halloween. We're not gonna be doing anything special tonight, maybe watching a scary movie. But I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. Wish you a happy Halloween. I hope you are having a wonderful time in your gardens, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.